The bell above the door chimed at 6:47 a.m. Emma barely looked up. 10 years working at Rosie's Café, and that bell had become background noise, like breathing, like her own heartbeat, like the guilt that never stopped whispering. "Morning, Emma." Old Mr. Patterson shuffled to his usual spot. Booth 3, same booth he'd sat in for a decade. The man was consistent, reliable, unlike everything else in Emma's life. "The usual, please." "Coming right up, Mr. P." Emma's voice was steady, practiced, nobody could tell. Nobody ever could. Smile through the pain. Surf through the storm, keep moving, always keep moving. Because if you stop, if you let yourself feel, you'll never start again. The cafe was nearly empty. Tuesday mornings were always slow. Just Mr. Patterson with his crossword, Mrs. Chen in the corner with her newspaper, and the new guy, the one who'd been coming in for the past week. 7 days straight, always the same routine. Black coffee, nothing else. No food, no conversation. Just sat there in booth 5, watching, thinking, hiding. Emma had served enough people in 10 years to read them. This guy, he was running from something. His watch alone, that sleek silver thing, probably cost more than her yearly rent. But he wore a faded denim jacket, scuffed boots, a baseball cap pulled low, like he was trying desperately not to look rich. Playing poor, playing invisible. She'd seen that look before, that desperate need to disappear. She saw it every morning. In her own mirror, Emma poured his coffee, walked over, set it down. He looked up, their eyes met, and for just a second, Emma saw something, pain, deep, ancient, familiar. The kind that doesn't heal, that just learns to hide better. "Thank you," he said quietly. His voice was different today. Not the polite stranger voice, something softer, more real, like he was tired. Tired of pretending. Tired of running, Emma nodded. Started to walk away. 1 foot, then 2. Then she stopped. Her hand went to her apron pocket, to the envelope, the one she'd been carrying for 3 days. The one that felt heavier than paper had any right to feel. She'd written 12 different versions, sat at her kitchen table until 3 in the morning, crossed out sentences, started over, cried, stopped, started again. Thrown away 11 attempts. This one, number 12, was the one she'd kept. The one that finally said what had been trapped inside her for 10 years. The envelope was addressed to nobody. Just 4 words. "To whoever needs this." "Excuse me," Emma's voice cracked. She cleared her throat. "I have something." "For you," the man looked up, confused. "For me? But we don't. We've never even spoken." "I know," Emma pulled out the envelope, her hands trembling, "but I think maybe you need this. Maybe you're supposed to read it. I don't know why. I have this feeling." She placed it on the table, right next to his coffee. The man stared at it, like it might explode. "What is this?" he whispered. Emma took a breath. This was it. The point of no return. It's my story. It's why I won't be here tomorrow. Why this is my last shift. Why after 10 years, I'm finally done. His eyes widened. "Your last shift? Are you quitting?" Emma laughed. But it wasn't happy. It was hollow, empty, something like that. She walked away. Behind the counter, she busied herself with dishes, with coffee pots, with anything that kept her hands moving. But she watched him. From the corner of her eye, watched as he picked up the envelope, turned it over, read those 4 words, watched as he hesitated, as his fingers traced the edge, as he sat there, frozen, deciding, and then, slowly, carefully, he opened it. Emma turned away. She couldn't watch. Couldn't see his face because what he was reading, what she'd written at 3 in the morning, was the truth. The whole truth. The secret she'd carried for 10 years. And now it was out there, in the hands of a stranger. Block 2, the letter. Daniel Carter hadn't cried in 7 years, not since the accident. Not since he'd lost everything. Not since he'd become this, a 33-year-old tech millionaire who'd forgotten how to feel. But as he read Emma's letter, his hand started shaking, his vision blurred, and something inside him, something he thought had died, cracked wide open. The letter was handwritten, shaky, like she'd been crying while writing. The ink was smudged in places. "Water damage, tears, to whoever needs this," it began. "My name is Emma Rose Mitchell. I'm 32 years old, and tomorrow, I'm going to end my life." Daniel's breath stopped. "I know what you're thinking, that I'm weak, that I'm selfish, that people have it worse. And you're right. But pain isn't a competition. And I'm so tired. So tired of pretending, of smiling, of serving coffee while my heart screams. Daniel looked up at Emma behind the counter, wiping down the espresso machine, her movements mechanical, a performance perfected over years. He'd seen that performance in himself. Every day he kept reading 10 years ago. I had a son, Liam. He was 2 years old, beautiful, perfect, my whole world. His father left when I got pregnant. Said he wasn't ready, so it was just us. Me and Liam, but working here, at Rosie's, trying to survive. Daniel's chest tightened. One morning, just like this one, I brought Liam to work, just for an hour. My sitter canceled. Rosie said okay. Liam sat in that corner booth, by the window, playing with his trucks being perfect, and I was busy. So busy, the breakfast rush. I took my ES off him, for maybe 5 minutes. Daniel didn't want to keep reading, but he couldn't stop. He wandered outside, into the street, chasing a dog, a golden retriever. He loved dogs. And a car? Didn't see him. The driver was texting. Said he was sorry. Like sorry could bring him back. Tears streamed down Daniel's face now. He died in my arms. In the ambulance. I got to hold him, but I couldn't save him. And for 10 years, I've worked here. At this counter, walking past that booth every single day. The last place I saw him smile. The handwriting got messier. People ask why I stayed, and I say I love it here. But the truth? I'm punishing myself. Every shift, every day. Reminding myself that I looked away. That I chose customers over him. That I failed, that it's my fault. Daniel's hands were shaking. Tomorrow marks 10 years, and I'm done. Done punishing myself, done pretending. I've written letters to my mom, to Rosie, but this one is for you, whoever you are, because I saw something in your eyes, something broken, and I thought, maybe you need to know, you're not alone. Whatever guilt you carry, whatever pain you hide, I understand. I see you, the way I wish someone had seen me, no signature, just emptiness. Daniel looked up at Emma pouring coffee, smiling that hollow smile, and he understood. She'd been dying for 10 years. One shift at a time, he stood up, legs unsteady, walked to the counter. Emma turned, saw his face, saw the tears, and her mask slipped. You read it, she whispered. I read it. Daniel's voice broke. And Emma, we need to talk, right now. Emma stared at Daniel, at this stranger with tears streaming down his face. This man in his expensive watch and cheap disguise. And for the first time in 10 years, she felt something other than numbness. She felt seen. I can't talk right now, she whispered, her voice shaking. I'm working, please. Daniel's voice cracked, raw, desperate. Please, Emma, 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. 5 minutes of your time. Because what you just gave me, what you just showed me, I need you to understand something. Emma glanced at the clock. 7:23 a.m. The morning rush wouldn't start for another hour. Rosie wouldn't be in until 8. Mr. Patterson was absorbed in his crossword. Mrs. Chen was half asleep over her newspaper. 5 minutes, Emma said finally. In the back. Not here, she led him through the kitchen. Past the grill, past the walk-in freezer, to the small break room in the back. A card table, 2 folding chairs, a coffee maker that hadn't worked in 3 years. This was where she spent her breaks. Where she cried between shifts. Where she'd written that letter at 3 a.m. last week. Daniel sat down. Emma remained standing, arms crossed, defensive, waiting. My name isn't John, Daniel started, his voice quiet. I lied, I've been lying all week. My real name is Daniel Carter. And 7 years ago, I killed someone. Emma's breath caught. Her hand instinctively moved to the door, ready to run. Ready to scream. Not like that, Daniel said quickly, seeing her fear. It wasn't murder. It was an accident. But that doesn't make it any less my fault. That doesn't bring her back. Her? Emma whispered. My wife, Rebecca, Becca. Daniel's voice broke on her name. We'd been married for 2 years. Together for 5. She was everything. Smart, beautiful, kind. She worked as a pediatric nurse, loved kids. Wanted 3 of our own someday. We had names picked out. A house we were saving for. A whole future planned. Emma slowly sat down. Something in his voice. Something genuine. Something broken in exactly the same way she was broken. I was building a tech startup, Daniel continued. Working insane hours, 16, 18-hour days. Weekends, holidays. Becca was patient, supportive. She understood. She said we were building our future, that the sacrifice was temporary, that it would be worth it. He pulled off his baseball cap, ran his hands through his hair. One night, I'd been at the office for 23 hours straight, coding, debugging, meeting with investors. I was exhausted. Becca called, asked me to come home, said she missed me, that we needed to talk. I told her I was too busy, that it could wait, that I'd be home tomorrow. Tears were streaming down his face again. She texted me, said okay, said she loved me, said she understood, and then she got in the car, drove to the office to bring med dinner. She'd made my favorite, lasagna, garlic bread. She wanted to surprise me, wanted to see me, even if I was too busy to come home. Daniel's hands were shaking. It was raining hard, the roads were slick. And she lost control, hydroplaned, hit a barrier on the highway. The car flipped 3 times. She died instantly. That's what they told me, instantly, like that was supposed to make it better. Emma couldn't breathe. This story, his pain, it was a mirror, a reflection of her own nightmare. And for 7 years, Daniel continued, his voice barely audible now. I've been running. I sold the company, made millions, then hundreds of millions, then billions, built an empire, but none of it mattered, because she was gone, and it was my fault. If I'd just gone home, if I'd just said yes, if I'd chosen her over work, she'd still be alive. He looked up at Emma, his eyes red, destroyed. I've been driving around the country for 3 months, just driving. No destination, no plan, trying to outrun the guilt, the pain, the voice in my head that says I don't deserve to be alive, that I should have died instead of her. And a week ago, I ended up here, in this town, at this cafe, and I sat down, and I saw you. Emma was crying now too, silent tears sliding down her cheeks, and I saw something in your eyes, Daniel whispered, something I recognized, something familiar. You looked the way I feel, lost, guilty, broken, going through the motions, pretending to be alive, and I kept coming back, day after day, watching you, wondering if you felt what I felt, if you carried what I carried. He reached into his pocket, pulled out something, a photograph, worn, faded, folded and unfolded 1,000 times. It was a woman, beautiful, smiling, holding a coffee cup. This was Becca, he said softly. Taken 3 days before she died. She was so happy, so alive, and I took her for granted. Thought we'd have forever. Thought there'd always be more time. Emma took the photo with trembling hands, stared at the woman's face. The joy in her eyes, the life. Why are you telling me this? Emma asked, her voice breaking. Why are you here? Daniel looked at her, really looked at her, because Emma, when I read your letter, when you said tomorrow's the anniversary, I knew why the universe led me here, why I've been coming to this cafe all week, why I felt connected to you. He leaned forward, his voice urgent now, desperate. Tomorrow is the anniversary of Becca's death too. 7 years. And I was planning, I had it all figured out. How I'd do it, where, when. I've been carrying pills in my pocket for a month. Enough tuned it. To finally stop running. To finally make the pain stop. Emma's eyes widened. Daniel, but then you gave me that letter, he continued. His voice stronger now, and I read your story. And I saw myself, my pain, my guilt, my plan. And I realized something that changed everything. He reached across the table, took Emma's hands in his. They were both shaking. If you die tomorrow, Emma, the world loses someone extraordinary. Someone who loved so deeply that she's been punishing herself 14 years. Someone who chose to see a stranger's pain, to share her truth, to reach out, even when she had nothing left to give. His grip tightened. And if I die tomorrow, the world loses whatever good I might still do, whatever redemption might be possible, whatever chance I've to honor Becca's memory by living, by being better, by choosing people over work, love over success, life over guilt. Emma was sobbing now, full, gasping sobs. I don't want you to die, Emma, Daniel whispered. And I don't think you really want to die either. I think you want the pain to stop, The guilt to end. The punishment to be over, and I get it. God, I get it. But Emma, he squeezed her hands, what if there's another way? What if instead of ending our stories, we rewrite them? Together? Emma stared at Daniel's hands holding hers. Two strangers. Two broken people. Two souls drowning in guilt. Connected by grief, by pain. By tomorrow's impossible anniversary, rewrite them? She whispered. Daniel, I don't know how. I've been trying for 10 years, and I can't keep doing this. Waking up, serving coffee, walking past that booth pretending I'm okay. Pretending I deserve to be alive when Liam… Her voice broke completely. When Liam isn't. Daniel squeezed her hands tighter. I know. I know exactly what you mean. Every morning I wake up, and for 1 second, one beautiful second, I forget. And then I remember. Becca's gone, and I'm still here. And it feels wrong. It feels like a mistake. Like the universe got it backwards. Emma nodded. Fresh tears streaming down her face, but Emma, Daniel continued softly, what if it's not a mistake? What if we're still here? Because there's something we're supposed to do? Someone we're supposed to help? Some life we're meant to save? Like who? Emma asked bitterly. I'm a waitress. You're what? A tech billionaire in hiding? What are we supposed to do? How do we fix this? Daniel was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone, opened something, turned the screen toward Emma. It was a website, clean, simple, professional. The Becca Carter Foundation, Emma read aloud. What is this? Something I started 2 years ago, Daniel said quietly. I took all the money I made, all those billions I earned while my wife was dying on a highway, and I created this, a foundation, for families who've lost someone, kids who've lost parents, parents who've lost kids. We provide therapy, support groups, financial assistance, whatever they need, whatever might help them survive what we're surviving. Emma scrolled through the page. Photos of families, testimonials, stories of loss, of healing, of hope. We've helped over 10,000 people, Daniel continued. But do you know what the hardest part is? I can help everyone else. I can write checks, fund programs, build support systems. But I can't help myself. I can't save myself. I'm still drowning, still running. Still planning to swallow those pills tomorrow. He looked at Emma, really looked at her. But then I read your letter, and for the first time in 7 years, I felt something other than guilt. I felt connection, purpose, like maybe I was supposed to find you. Like maybe we were supposed to save each other. Emma's breath caught. Save each other? Daniel, I can't be responsible for your life. That's not fair. I'm not asking you to be, Daniel said quickly. I'm asking, let me show you something. Will you come with me? Right now? Just for an hour. There's a place I want to take you. Something I want you to see. And if after that, you still want to go through with tomorrow, I won't stop you. I promise. But please, give me 1 hour. That's all. Emma looked at the clock. 4:45 a.m. Rosie would be here in 15 minutes. The morning rush would start soon. She had work, responsibilities, a routine she'd maintained for 10 years. But what did it matter? Tomorrow she'd be gone. Tomorrow none of it would matter. 1 hour, Emma said finally, her voice barely audible. Where are we going? Daniel stood up, relief washing over his face. Trust me. They walked out through the back door. Daniel's car was parked in the alley, not some flashy sports car like Emma expected. Just a regular SUV, black, anonymous. The kind of car someone drives when they're trying to disappear. They drove in silence, through the quiet morning streets, past the elementary school, past the park, past all the familiar landmarks of Emma's small town. And then they turned down a road Emma recognized. Her stomach clenched. Daniel, where are we going? He didn't answer, just kept driving, until they pulled into a parking lot. A place Emma hadn't been in 10 years, a place she'd avoided like poison. Riverside Cemetery. No. Emma's voice was sharp, panicked. No, Daniel. I can't. I haven't been here since the funeral. Aunt, I know, Daniel said softly, gently. Neither have I. To Becca's grave. I've driven here 100 times. Parked in this exact spot, and I've never gotten out of the car. Never walked through those gates. 'Cause I was afraid of what I'd feel. Afraid of what I'd say. Afraid of facing what I did. He turned to Emma, his eyes red but steady. But we're going to do it together. Right now, you and me. We're going to face the people we lost. We're going to say the things we've been too afraid to say. And then we're going to decide if we keep running or if we start living. Emma's hands were shaking, her breath coming in short gasps, every instinct screaming at her to run, to get out of this car, to go back to the cafe, back to her routine, back to her punishment. But Daniel's hand found hers, warm, steady, real. I can't do this alone, Emma, he whispered. I've tried. For 7 years I've tried, and I'm still drowning. But maybe we don't have to drown alone. Maybe we can pull each other up. Maybe we can survive this together. Emma looked at the cemetery gates, the rows of headstones beyond. Somewhere in there was Liam, her baby, the light of her life, the reason her heart stopped beating 10 years ago. She'd been avoiding this place, avoiding him. 'Cause going there made it real, made it permanent, made it impossible to pretend he might somehow come back. But he wasn't coming back. She knew that, had always known that. And if tomorrow was really the end, if she was really going to stop running, maybe she owed him this. One last visit, one last goodbye, one last moment of truth. Okay, Emma whispered, her voice shaking. Okay, let's go. They got out of the car. The morning air was cold, crisp, alive, and together. Two broken strangers walked through the cemetery gates. The cemetery was quiet, too quiet. Just the sound of gravel crunching under their feet, birds singing somewhere in the trees, the distant hum of traffic on the highway, normal sounds, life sounds. While surrounded by death, Emma's legs felt like lead, each step harder than the last. Daniel walked beside her, silent, his hand still holding hers, both of them shaking. He's in the children's section, Emma whispered, under the oak tree. Row 7. Plot 12. I know because I picked it. Stood here and chose where to bury my baby. And I picked that spot because he loved trees, loved climbing. And I thought maybe he'd like being near one, even though she couldn't finish, couldn't say the word, dead. They walked past rows of headstones, names, dates, lives reduced to carved granite. Beloved mother, devoted husband, gone too soon, words that meant everything. And nothing, and then Emma saw it. The small white headstone, simple, plain, the way she'd wanted it. Liam Alexander Mitchell, beloved son, 2012, 2014, forever too. Emma's knees buckled. Daniel caught her, held her up. They stood there together, staring at those words. That tiny grave, that impossible reality. I'm sorry, baby, Emma choked out, her voice breaking. I'm so sorry. I looked away. I was busy. I chose work. I chose tips and orders and customers over you. And you died. You died because I wasn't watching. Because I failed. Because I'm a terrible mother. She collapsed to her knees, hands pressing against the cold stone, sobbing. 10 years of tears. 10 years of guilt. 10 years of punishment. All pouring out. I miss you so much, she gasped. Every day. Every second, I see you everywhere. In every little boy. Every laugh. Every truck, every golden retriever. The world is full of you. And empty of you. And I don't know how to live in a world where you don't exist. Daniel knelt beside her, his own tears falling. Becca's over there, he said quietly, pointing to a section across the lawn. I can see it from here. The rose marble. That's hers. He picked it because she loved roses. Had them in our wedding, in her home, everywhere, and I thought, if she has to be here, at least she can be with roses. Emma looked at him. This stranger, this broken man, this person who understood. Go to her, Emma whispered. I'll be okay. Go say what you need to say, Daniel hesitated, then nodded. Stood, walked slowly across the grass, to the rose-colored headstone. Emma watched him kneel. Zoe's shoulders shake, saw him press his forehead against the stone, and Emma turned back to Liam's grave, to her baby, her boy. I need to tell you something, she said softly, something I've never said out loud. I'm planning to come see you tomorrow, for real, forever. I'm going to stop running, stop punishing myself, stop living this half-life, 'cause I want to be with you again, baby. I want to hold you. I want to hear your laugh. I want to fix what I broke. The wind picked up, rustling through the oak leaves above. But I met someone today, Emma continued. A man named Daniel. And he's broken too. Just like me. And he lost someone. Just like he lost you. And he's planning the same thing tomorrow, on the anniversary. And when I look at him, when I see his pain, I think maybe you wouldn't want this. I think maybe you'd want me to live, to be happy, to forgive myself. More tears fell, flashing on the grass. But I don't know how, Liam. I don't know how to forgive myself for this. How do I wake up every morning knowing you're gone because of me? How do I smile? How do I live? How do I deserve to breathe when you can't? Across the cemetery? Daniel was talking to Becca's headstone, his voice carrying on the wind. Emma could hear fragments. I'm so sorry. Should have come home. Should have chosen you. I love you. I miss you. I don't know how to keep going. And Emma realized. They were saying the same things. The same apologies. The same guilt. The same pain. Different stories, same ending, same tomorrow. What do I do, baby? Emma whispered. Do I come to you? Or do I stay? Do I keep living? Do I try to forgive myself? She stopped, because something caught her eye, movement near Liam's grave. Emma looked down, a butterfly. Blue wings, bright, beautiful. It had landed on Liam's headstone, right on his name, opening and closing its wings slowly, deliberately. Emma's breath caught. The butterfly, the one Liam had been chasing, the reason he'd run into the street. Blue wings, Liam, she whispered. The butterfly stayed, wings pulsing, almost like breathing, like heartbeat. And Emma felt something she hadn't felt in 10 years. Not peace, not forgiveness, but connection, presence, like maybe he was still here, somehow, in some way. Is that you, baby? Emma's voice broke. Are you saying something? The butterfly lifted, circled Emma's head once, twice, 3 times, then flew toward Daniel, landed on Becca's headstone, right next to where Daniel's hand rested. Daniel looked up, saw it, his eyes widening. The butterfly circled both graves, Emma's, Daniel's, dancing between them, connecting them, and then it flew up, into the oak tree, into the morning light, and disappeared. Emma stood slowly, walked to Daniel. He stood too. They looked at each other, both crying, both broken, both seeing the same impossible thing. Did you see? Emma started. The butterfly, Daniel finished. Yes, they stood there, between the 2 graves, between their past and their future, between death and life, Daniel, Emma said quietly. I think they're telling us something. What? He whispered. Emma looked at Liam's grave, then at Becca's, then back at Daniel. I think they're saying it's okay to live, that we don't have Toady to be with them, that they're already with us, that they want us to choose life. Daniel's face crumpled. But how? How do we do that? Emma took his hand again. Together, she said. We do it together. They sat on a bench near the cemetery entrance, neither speaking, both processing, both trying to understand what they'd just witnessed. What it meant. If it meant anything at all. Emma broke the silence first. Do you think I'm crazy for thinking that butterfly was him? Daniel shook his head slowly. No, because I think it was her too. Becca, I think they found a way to reach us, to tell us something we needed to hear. Or maybe, Emma said softly, we just wanted to see something, needed to see something. Maybe it was just the butterfly. Does it matter? Daniel asked. If it was real or not. If it was them or our minds or the universe or God or coincidence. Does it matter? If it gave us what we needed? Emma thought about that. About the feeling she'd had, that connection, that sense of Liam being there, present, not gone, just different. No, she whispered. I guess it doesn't. They sat in silence again. The sun was higher now, 8:30 a.m. Rosie would be wondering where Emma was. Customers would be arriving. The café would be filling up. Life was happening. Without her. The way it would keep happening tomorrow. With or without her. I don't want to die, Emma said suddenly. The words surprising even herself. I mean, part of me does. The part that's tired, that hurts, that wants the pain to stop. But another part, a part I thought was dead. It wants to live. It wants to try. It wants to see what happens next. Daniel looked at her, hope flickering in his eyes. Fragile, tentative, me too, he admitted. I've been so focused on ending it, on tomorrow, on those pills, on finally stopping the guilt, that I forgot there might be another option, that maybe the guilt doesn't have to end me. Maybe I can learn to live with it, to carry it differently, but how? Emma asked. The question that had haunted her for a decade. How do we do that? How do we forgive ourselves? How do we move forward? Daniel was quiet for a long moment. Then he pulled out his phone again, opened something, showed Emma it was a calendar. Tomorrow's date was circled, red, ominous. I marked this day 7 years ago, Daniel said. The day I'd end it. The anniversary. I've been counting down. Every year, getting closer, and this year, I finally decided. This was it. Tomorrow I'd stop running. He looked at Emma, his eyes intense now, determined. But what if instead of making tomorrow about death, we made it about life? What if we took that day, that horrible anniversary, and we transformed it, used it for something good? Like what? Emma asked. Daniel stood up, pacing now, energy returning to his voice, to his movements. The Becca Carter Foundation. It helps thousands, but it's not enough. It's not personal. It's money and programs and systems, but it's missing something. It's missing connection, real human connection. People who understand, who've been there, who can look someone in the eye and say, I know, I survived. You can too. He turned to Emma. What if we created something? You and me, a place, a program, a support group, for parents who've lost children, for spouses who've lost partners, for people drowning in guilt, in grief, in that impossible space between wanting to die and being too afraid to live. Emma's heart started beating faster. Daniel, I'm a waitress. I don't know anything about foundations or programs or… You know the most important thing, Daniel interrupted. You know the pain. You know what it's like to wake up every morning and choose to keep breathing, to keep moving, even when everything inside you is screaming to stop. That's what people need, Emma, not my money, not fancy programs. They need someone who gets it, who's been there, who's still there. Emma stood up, her mind racing. But I was going to… Tomorrow was supposed to be… I know, Daniel said gently. So was mine. But what if we changed the plan? What if tomorrow, instead of ending our stories, we started a new chapter together? What if we took all this pain, all this guilt, all these years of punishment, and we used it? We channeled it into something that could help people like us? A support group? Emma asked, her voice uncertain. More than that, Daniel said, his eyes lighting up now. A sanctuary, place where people can come, talk, cry, scream, whatever they need. No judgment, no platitudes, no toxic positivity, just truth, raw, honest, real, led by people who understand. You and me, and others like us, building a community of survivors. Emma's breath caught. The idea was taking shape in her mind. A place she wished had existed 10 years ago. A place where someone might have seen her, understood her, told her, you're not alone. We could call it… Daniel paused, thinking. The Blue Wing Project. After the butterfly, after Liam, after the sign we both saw. A symbol of transformation, of life continuing, of beauty rising from pain. Emma felt tears building again, but different tears. Not grief, not guilt. Something else. Something dangerous, something terrifying. Hope. Daniel, what if I fail again? What if I can't do this? What if I'm not strong enough? Daniel took her hands. Squeeze tight, then we fail together, and we get back up. And we try again. That's what this is, Emma. Not about being perfect. Not about having all the answers. Just about showing up. Being honest. Saying the things nobody wants to say. Creating space for pain. For grief. For the messy truth of survival. Emma looked back at the cemetery. At the graves they'd just left. At Liam's oak tree. At Becca's roses. At the place where they'd almost given up. Almost stopped fighting. Okay, she whispered. Then stronger. Okay, let's do it. Let's build something. Let's choose life. Daniel pulled her into a hug. Both of them crying. Both of them laughing. Both of them terrified and hopeful and alive. Tomorrow, Daniel said into her hair. Tomorrow we start. Not by dying, by living, by fighting, by building something that matters. Tomorrow, Emma agreed. Her voice muffled against his shoulder. We choose life, they stood there. Two strangers who'd become something more. Two survivors who'd found each other in the darkest moment. Two broken people who'd decided maybe broken was okay. Maybe broken could still build something beautiful. I need to go back to the cafe, Emma said finally, pulling away, wiping her eyes. Rosie's probably freaking out. I just disappeared. I'll drive you, Daniel said. And Emma? Thank you. For the letter. For trusting me, for saving my life, Emma smiled. A real smile. The first in 10 years, you saved mine too. The cafe was packed when they arrived. 9:15 a.m. peak breakfast rush. Every booth filled. Every table occupied. The sound of clattering dishes and conversation and the espresso machine screaming. Normal chaos. Normal life. Rosie was behind the counter. 62 years old. Gray hair pulled back in a bun. Glasses perched on her nose. She'd owned this cafe for 30 years. Had given Emma a job when nobody else would. When Emma was a single mom with a dead son and dead eyes, she looked up as Emma walked in. Relief, then confusion, then concern. Emma, where have you been? I came in at 8 and you were gone. Your apron was on the counter. Your purse in the back. I didn't know what to think. Emma walked to the counter. Daniel following behind. Rosie's eyes flicked to him. Recognition, the coffee guy. The one who'd been coming all week. Rosie, Emma said softly. Can we talk? In the back? Rosie's face went pale. Are you quitting? Is this your notice? Emma, if I did something wrong. No, Emma said quickly. No, nothing like that. I need to tell you something. And I need you to listen. Really listen. They went to the break room. The same place where Emma and Daniel had talked hours earlier. Where everything had changed. Rosie sat down. Emma remained standing. Pacing, Daniel leaned against the wall. Quiet, supportive. I need to tell you the truth, Emma started, her voice shaking, about tomorrow. About why I gave you that letter last week. The one you're not supposed to open until Thursday. Rosie's eyes widened. Emma, what are you talking about? Emma took a deep breath. And then she told her everything. About the plan. About the anniversary. About the guilt she'd carried for 10 years. About working at the cafe as punishment. About the letter she'd given Daniel. About the cemetery. About the butterfly. About the Blue Wing Project. All of it. The truth. Raw and ugly and real by the end. Rosie was crying. Hands over her mouth. Tears streaming down her weathered face. Emma, she whispered. Oh, honey. I knew you were hurting. I've always known. But I didn't know. I didn't know it was this bad. Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you let me help? Because I didn't think I deserved help, Emma said. I thought I deserved to suffer, to punish myself forever, but today something changed. Someone showed me that maybe there's another way. She looked at Daniel. He nodded encouragement. Rosie, I'm not quitting, but I need to ask you something. I need time off, starting tomorrow, maybe a few weeks, maybe longer, to build something with Daniel. Something that might help people like me. People who are drowning, who are planning to give up, who need someone to tell them. It's okay to keep living. Rosie stood up, crossed the small room, and pulled Emma into a fierce hug. You take all the time you need, she whispered. All the time in the world. And Emma, I'm so proud of you. So proud for choosing Toste, for choosing to fight, for choosing life. Emma collapsed into the hug, sobbing. 10 years of holding it together. 10 years of pretending. Finally breaking open. Finally letting someone see. I'm scared, Rosie, Emma admitted. What if I can't do it? What if I fail? Then you'll try again, Rosie said firmly. Pulling back, looking Emma in the eyes. That's what living is, honey. Trying, failing, trying again. It's messy and hard and it hurts. But it's better than the alternative. It's better than giving up. She turned to Daniel, extended her hand. Thank you, she said simply. For whatever you did, for being there, for seeing her. Daniel shook her hand. She saved me too. We saved each other. Rosie smiled through her tears. That's how it works, isn't it? We're not meant to do this alone. Any of this. We need each other, even when we think we don't, especially when we think we don't. A knock on the door. One of the other waitresses, young, maybe 20. Rosie? We're getting slammed out here. Do you need Emma or... Emma looked at Rosie, then at Daniel. then made a decision. I'll work the rest of my shift, Emma said. One more day. One more shift of the old life. And then tomorrow. Tomorrow I start the new one. She walked back onto the floor, grabbed her apron, tied it around her waist, picked up the coffee pot, and for the first time in 10 years, she looked at booth 7, the corner booth, the one where Liam had sat, the one she'd avoided, the one that haunted her dreams. A family was sitting there, mom, dad, little boy, maybe 3 years old, playing with toy trucks, making engine noises, laughing. Emma's breath caught, her heart hammered. Every instinct told her to look away, to serve another table, to avoid, to run, but she didn't. She walked over, poured coffee, smiled at the little boy. Cool trucks, she said, her voice only shaking slightly. The boy looked up, grinned, missing his 2 front teeth. I'm gonna be a truck driver when I grow up. That's a great dream, Emma said, and meant it. Hold on to that. She walked away. Back to the counter, back to work. But something was different. The booth didn't hurt as much. The memory didn't cut as deep. It was still there, still painful, but not unbearable, not impossible. Daniel had taken a seat at the counter, watching her work, smiling. And every time Emma felt the panic rising, the guilt creeping back, she'd look at him, and he'd nod, a silent reminder, you're not alone. We're doing this together. The morning rush ended. 11 a.m., the cafe emptied out. Just a few stragglers. Daniel was still there, nursing his 4th cup of coffee, typing on his laptop now. Working on something, Emma walked over, refilled his cup. What are you working on? Daniel turned the laptop, showed her. A website mock-up, simple, clean. A blue butterfly logo in the corner. The Blue Wing Project, he said. A place for survivors. For people who've lost someone. For people drowning in guilt. We'll have support groups. Online forums, a hotline, person meetings, whatever people need, and we'll lead it. You and me, sharing our stories, showing people it's possible to survive. Emma stared at the screen, at the words. You are not alone. There is hope. Choose life. Daniel. This is beautiful, but how do we even start? Don't know anything about running a nonprofit or... We'll figure it out, Daniel said confidently. Together. On a step at a time. Tomorrow we'll make calls. Find a space, file paperwork, recruit other survivors to help. Build something real, something that matters. He looked up at her. His eyes clear now, alive, purposeful. But tonight we need to do something else first. What? Emma asked. Daniel pulled something from his pocket. A small orange prescription bottle. The pills. The ones he'd been carrying for a month. The ones meant for tomorrow. We need to get rid of these, he said quietly. Both of us. Whatever you were planning to use. We throw it away, tonight together as a commitment. To life, to this new path. To each other. Emma's hand went to her own pocket. To the bottle she'd been carrying. Sleeping pills. A month's worth. More than enough, okay, she whispered. Where? Daniel smiled. I know the perfect place. That evening, as the sun set, they drove back to the cemetery. Stood between the 2 graves, Liam's oak tree, Becca's roses, and together, they opened the bottles, poured the pills onto the ground, watched them scatter, disappear into the grass. Goodbye to death, Daniel said softly. Hello to life, Emma finished. They stood there, holding hands. 2 survivors, 2 fighters, 2 people who'd almost given up, but chose to stay. Emma woke up on Thursday morning, the anniversary. 10 years exactly since Liam died, the day she'd marked on her calendar, the day she'd planned to end everything. But instead of feeling heavy, instead of feeling that crushing weight, she felt something different. Not happiness, not peace, but purpose, direction, hope. She looked at her phone. 6:30 a.m., a text from Daniel. You still with me? Emma smiled, typed back. Still here, still breathing, still scared. But still here. 3 dots. Then his response. Me too. Meet me at the community center, 10 a.m. I have a surprise. Emma got dressed. Not her cafe uniform, real clothes, jeans, ass sweater. The clothes of someone who had somewhere to be, something to do, someone to become. She stopped by Liam's room, the one she'd kept exactly as it was, toys on the shelf, trucks on the floor, his tiny bed with the race car blanket, a shrine, a museum, a prison. "I'm trying, baby," she whispered to the empty room. "I'm trying to live. For both of us. I hope that's okay. I hope you understand." The community center was on Maple Street. Old building, needed paint. But it had space, and Daniel's foundation had money. Lots of it. Enough to transform this place into something special. Emma walked in and stopped. The main room had been completely changed. Overnight. Chairs arranged in a circle, soft lighting, comfortable couches, tissues in every surface. And on the wall, a massive mural, a blue butterfly. Beautiful, hopeful, alive. Daniel stood in the center, not in his disguise anymore. Real clothes. Real hair. Real him. A man who'd stopped hiding. "Welcome," he said, his voice emotional, "to the Blue Wing Project, to our new beginning, to the first day of the rest of our lives." Emma walked to him, looked around. "Daniel, how did you do all this?" "In one night, I called in every favor I had," he admitted. "Contractors, painters, designers, told them it was urgent. That lives depended on it, and they showed up. They made it happen." He took her hand, led her to the circle of chairs. "We're starting small today. Just us. Learning how to do this. Practicing our story. Getting comfortable with being vulnerable, with being real. And then next week we open the doors, we invite people in. We create space for pain." Emma sat down, looked at the empty chairs, imagined them filled with people like her, like Daniel. People drowning, people desperate, people who needed someone to say, "I understand." "What if nobody comes?" Emma asked quietly, the fear she'd been carrying. "What if we build this and we're alone?" Daniel sat across from her. "Then we'll be alone together. And we'll keep showing up. Keep being honest, keep putting our story out there. Until someone hears it, until someone needs it. Until we make a difference." He pulled out a folder. Papers inside. "I've been researching grief support groups. Best practices. What works, what doesn't. And you know what I found? The most effective groups are led by people who've lived it. Not therapists reading from textbooks, but real people. With real scars, sharing real truth." Emma nodded. "So what do we do? How do we start?" "We tell our stories," Daniel said simply. "To each other, out loud, the whole truth. No holding back, no editing, no protecting ourselves. We practice being raw, being broken, being honest." He took a breath. "I'll go first." And for the next hour, Daniel talked about Becca, about their love story, about the startup, about the night she died, about the guilt, about the 7 years of running, about the pills, about the plan, about the cemetery, about the butterfly. All of it. Unfiltered. Real. When he finished, he was crying, but his voice was steady. "Strong. Your turn," he said to Emma. Emma's hands shook, but she started. Told her story. About Liam, about being a single mom, about the cafe, about the 5 minutes, about the car, about the guilt, about the 10 years of punishment, about Booth 7, about the letter, about Daniel, about choosing life. By the end, they were both crying, both exhausted, both lighter. "We're going to do this every week," Daniel said. "Tell our stories over and over until they stop hurting so much, until they become something we can share, something that might help others." A knock on the door. They both looked up. Startled, a woman stood there. Maybe 40, worn face, tired eyes. She'd been crying. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice shaking. "I saw the sign outside, the Blue Wing Project, for people who've lost someone. Is this real? Is this actually happening?" Daniel stood. "It's real. Come in, please." The woman walked in slowly, like she might bolt, like she wasn't sure she belonged. "My son died," she said. No introduction, no small talk, just truth. 3 years ago, car accident. He was 16. And I haven't been a case since. I've been going to therapy, taking medication, trying to hold it together. But I'm drowning. I'm so tired of drowning. Emma stood too, crossed the room, looked the woman in the eyes. I know, Emma said softly. I lost my son too, 10 years ago. He was 2. And I've been drowning just like you, trying to survive, barely making it. But today I'm choosing something different. I'm choosing to fight, to live. And I'd really like it if you'd fight with me. The woman's face crumpled. You understand? You really understand? I do, Emma said, and meant it. Come sit with us. Tell us your story. Let us hear you, see you, remind you that you're not alone. The woman sat down, tentative, scared, hopeful, and she started talking about her son, about the accident, about the guilt, about the pain. The same story, different details, same ending, same survival. Daniel and Emma listened, really listened. Didn't try to fix, didn't offer platitudes, just witnessed, just held space, just said, "We see you," when she finished. The woman looked different. Not healed, not fixed, but lighter. Seen. Understood. Thank you, she whispered. I didn't think anyone would get it, but you do. You really do. Come back next week, Daniel said. We're officially opening then, every Thursday, same time. A space for people like us, for survivors, for fighters, for people who need to know. It's okay to keep living. The woman nodded, stood, wiped her eyes and smiled. A small smile, but real. I'll be here, she said, and left. Emma and Daniel looked at each other, stunned. That was? Emma started. Real, Daniel finished. That was real. She came. She found us. She needed this. Emma felt tears building again. But different tears, not grief, not pain, something else. We're actually doing this, she whispered. We're building something that matters. Daniel pulled her into a hug. We are. One person at a time, one story at a time. One life at a time. They stood there in their new space, on their new path. On the day they'd planned to die instead. They'd chosen to live, to fight, to help others do the same. And somewhere, maybe in the oak trees, maybe in the roses, maybe in the blue wings of a passing butterfly. Liam and Becca were smiling. 6 months later, Emma stood at the front of the room, looked at the faces staring back at her. 23 people, all ages, all backgrounds, all carrying the same weight. The weight of loss, of guilt, of surviving when someone they loved didn't. This was the Thursday night group. The original, the one that had started with just her and Daniel. Now it had grown, expanded, become something bigger than either of them imagined. Good evening, everyone, Emma said, her voice steady now, confident. 6 months of practice, 6 months of telling her story, 6 months of healing. For those who are new, welcome to the Blue Wing Project. This is a space for survivors, for people who've lost someone, for people carrying guilt they don't know how to put down. She paused, looked at Daniel sitting in the circle. He nodded, encouraging. My name is Emma. 6 months ago, I was planning to end my life. I'd carried guilt for 10 years, punished myself every single day, believed I didn't deserve to live. But then, something happened. Someone saw me, really saw me, and gave me a reason to stay. A young man in the back raised his hand. New, maybe 25, eyes red from crying. How did you do it? He asked, his voice breaking. How did you stop wanting to die? Because I'm there right now. I'm exactly where you were, and I don't know if I can make it through tomorrow. Emma walked over, sat down next to him, looked him in the eyes. What's your name? Marcus, he whispered. Marcus. I'm not going to lie to you. Doesn't get easier. Not really. The pain doesn't disappear. The guilt doesn't vanish, but it changes. It becomes something you can carry, something that doesn't crush you anymore. But how? Marcus asked desperately. How do I get there? 1 day at a time, Emma said softly. 1 hour, 1 minute, whatever you can manage. And you don't do it alone. You come here every week. You tell your story. You hear other stories. You realize You're not the only one. And slowly, it gets bearable. She squeezed his shoulder. Can you make it through tonight? Marcus nodded. Barely. Good, that's all I'm asking. Tonight we'll worry about tomorrow when tomorrow comes. Deal, Marcus whispered. The meeting continued. People shared, cried, listened, held space for each other's pain. No fixing, no solutions. Just presence, just truth, just community. When it ended, Marcus approached Emma and Daniel. Thank you, he said. I was going to do it tonight. Had everything planned, but then I saw your website, read your story. And I thought, maybe I should try. One more time. One more day. Emma hugged him. Come back next week, please. Give us 7 more days. Let us show you. It's worth it. Living is worth it. Marcus left. Emma watched him go, praying he'd keep his promise, praying he'd make it through the night. Daniel came up behind her, put his hand on her shoulder. You can't save everyone, he said gently, reading her thoughts. Some people, they're not ready yet. And that's okay. All we can do is show up. Be honest, plant seeds. Hope they grow. I know, Emma said. But I still worry. I still care. I still want to save them all. I know, me too. Daniel turned her around. But look what we've built. Look at this room. 23 people tonight. Last week was 18. The week before was 15. We're growing. We're reaching people. We're making a difference. He pulled out his phone. Showed her an email. Read this. Came in today, Emma read. It was from a woman. Sarah. She'd come to the group 2 months ago, suicidal, broken, ready to give up. The email said, Dear Emma and Daniel, I wanted you to know. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. Your group saved my life. Literally. I was going to end it. Had the pills. Had the plan. But I came to Blue Wing instead. And I heard your stories. And I realized I wasn't alone 2 months later. I'm still not okay. But I'm alive. I'm trying. And that's because of you. Because you chose to share your pain. To be vulnerable. To show me a different path. Thank you. Thank you for saving my life. Emma's eyes filled with tears. She's alive. She's still here because of you, Daniel said. Because we decided to turn our pain into purpose. Our guilt into grace. Our tragedy into transformation. Emma looked around the community center. At the blue butterfly mural. At the circle of chairs. At the tissues and the coffee and the safe space they'd created. We should expand, Emma said suddenly. More nights. More groups, online meetings for people who can't come in person. A hotline, resources, we can do more. Reach more. Save more, Daniel smiled. I was hoping you'd say that. Because I've been working on something. He pulled up a presentation on his laptop, showed Emma a building downtown, 3 stories, with a sign. The Blue Wing Center. I bought it last month, Daniel said. With foundation money, we're renovating it now. Should be ready in 3 months. Space for multiple groups. A meditation room. Art therapy. Music therapy, individual counseling. 24-hour crisis line, everything. Emma stared, stunned. Daniel, this is incredible. But can we handle this? It's so much bigger than... We're not doing it alone, Daniel interrupted. I've been recruiting. Other survivors, people like us, who've lost someone, who've survived, who want to help. We're building a team, a community, a movement. He closed the laptop, looked at Emma, his eyes bright, alive. So different from the broken man who'd sat in that cafe 6 months ago, Emma. Do you remember that morning? When you handed me the letter? When you were planning to end everything? Emma nodded. Every detail, every second. That letter saved my life, Daniel said, his voice thick with emotion. Your honesty, your vulnerability, your willingness to reach out, even in your darkest moment. You saved me, and now we're saving others, together, just like we promised. Emma thought about that day, about the envelope, about the fear, about the cemetery, about the butterfly, about the choice. I never thought I'd be here, Emma admitted. 6 months ago, I couldn't see past tomorrow, couldn't imagine a future, couldn't believe life was worth living. And now, she looked around, at the empty chairs that would fill again next week, at the lives they were touching, at the ripple effect of their choice. Now I have purpose, Emma finished. Meaning, hope, not because the pain is gone, but because I'm using it, channeling it, transforming it into something that matters. Daniel pulled her into a hug. We both are. We're proof that it's possible to survive, to heal, to help, to live. They stood there, in their center, in their mission. In their new life, Emma's phone buzzed. A text from Marcus. The young man from tonight. I'm still here. Made it through the night. Coming back next week. Thank you for seeing me. Emma showed Daniel. They both smiled through tears. One more life, Emma whispered. One more day, Daniel added. One more reason to keep fighting, they said together. Outside, the sun was setting, casting golden light through the windows. And if you looked carefully, if you believed, you might see a blue butterfly landing on the windowsill, wings pulsing, like a heartbeat, like hope. Life continuing, always continuing. 1 year later, Emma stood outside Rosie's Café, the place where it all began, where she'd served coffee for 10 years, where she'd punished herself daily, where she'd handed a stranger a letter that changed everything. She hadn't been back in 6 months. Too busy, too focused on the Blue Wing Center, too immersed in saving lives. But today was special. Today was the anniversary, not of death, but of choosing life. The bell chimed as she walked in. That same sound, but it felt different now. Not like a prison, like a memory, like the beginning of something beautiful. Rosie looked up from behind the counter. Her face broke into a massive smile. Emma, oh honey, look at you. She came around, hugged Emma tight, pulled back, studied her face. You look different, Rosie said. Lighter, alive, really alive. I am, Emma said, and meant it. I'm here. I'm present. I'm living. They sat in booth 3, Mr. Patterson's old spot. He'd passed away 2 months ago, peacefully, in his sleep. Emma had spoken at his funeral, talked about kindness, about consistency, about how small gestures matter. Tell me everything, Rosie said. I see the articles, the news stories. The Blue Wing Center is everywhere. You're famous, honey, Emma laughed. Not famous, just visible. Finally visible. After spending so long trying to disappear, she told Rosie about the past year, about the center, about the lives saved, about the community built, about the 73 people who came to groups every week, about the crisis line that had fielded over 2,000 calls, about the 15 expansion locations being planned across the country. And Daniel? Rosie asked. A knowing smile on her face, Emma blushed. We're close, partners, friends, maybe more. We're taking it slow. Both of us are still healing, still learning how to trust, how to love without guilt. But he's special, Rosie. He saved me. You saved each other, Rosie corrected. That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work. The door opened. Daniel walked in, saw Emma, smiled that smile. Theone that made her heart skip. He slid into the booth, ordered black coffee. Just like a year ago, but everything else was different. I was thinking, Daniel said, looking between Emma and Rosie. We should do something here. At the cafe. Once a month. A Blue Wing meeting. In the place where it all started. Free coffee. Open to anyone. A reminder that healing can happen anywhere. Even in the places that hurt us most. Rosie's eyes filled with tears. I'd be honored. Truly honored. Emma looked at booth 7, the corner booth, where Liam had sat, where her life had shattered. Teenager sat there now, texting, laughing, living, and Emma felt okay, not healed. Not over it, but okay. I have something to show you both, Emma said. She pulled out her phone, opened a video. Hit play, it was Marcus, the young man from 6 months ago. The one who'd been suicidal? He was standing in front of a camera, smiling. Hi, my name is Marcus Chen. 6 months ago, I walked into the Blue Wing Project. I was planning to end my life that night. Had everything ready. But Emma and Daniel, they saw me. They heard me. They gave me a reason to stay. And today, I'm alive. I'm in therapy. I'm rebuilding my relationship with my family. I'm working again. I'm living. And I want everyone watching this to know. If you're thinking about giving up, please don't. Please find the Blue Wing Project, or any support group, or a friend, or a hotline. Please reach out. Because life can change. Pain can shift. Hope can return. I'm living proof. We all are. The video ended. Emma looked at Daniel, both crying. Both proud. He's going to lead his own group next month, Emma said. He's trained, ready, excited. The survivor becomes the healer. The wounded becomes the warrior. That's the whole point, Daniel took Emma's hand. That's the legacy. Not just saving lives, but empowering survivors to save others. Creating a ripple effect. One story, one choice, one life, spreading outward forever. Rosie wiped her eyes. You two, you're changing the world. One broken heart at a time. Emma looked around the cafe. At the place that had been her prison, now it felt like home. Like the birthplace of something beautiful. A year ago today, Emma said softly, I handed Daniel a letter. He was saying goodbye to life. I'd given up. I decided. The pain was too much. The guilt too heavy. The future too dark. She squeezed Daniel's hand. But Daniel read that letter, and he didn't run. He didn't judge. He saw me, the real me, the broken me, and he said, me too. You're not alone. And together. We chose differently. We chose life. What chose hope? We chose to transform our pain into purpose. Daniel raised his coffee cup. To choosing life. Every single day. Emma raised hers. To blue wings. To second chances. To the people we lost. And the lives we're saving. Rosie raised hers. To Emma and Daniel. And to everyone brave enough to keep fighting. They clinked cups, drank, smiled through tears. Outside. A blue butterfly landed on the window. Opened its wings, closed them, opened them again. Like breathing, like living, like a reminder that beauty can emerge from tragedy, that hope can rise from despair, that life, even after loss, is worth living. If you've made it this far in Emma and Daniel's story, thank you. Thank you for witnessing their pain, their choice, their transformation. This story is for everyone who's ever felt like giving up, who's ever carried guilt they didn't know how to release, who's ever wondered if tomorrow is worth seeing. You are not alone. Your pain is valid. Your struggle is real. But please, please choose life. Choose to reach out. Choose to tell your story. Choose to believe that things can change, that healing is possible, that you matter. If this story touched you, if it gave you hope, if it reminded you that you're not alone, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like, turn on notifications. Share this story with someone who needs to hear it. Because stories like this, they only matter if they spread, if they reach the people who need them most. The Blue Wing Project isn't just a story. It's a reminder that our darkest moments can become our greatest purpose, that our deepest pain can become our most powerful gift, that two broken strangers can save each other and then save the world one life at a time, one story at a time, one choice at a time. Choose life. Choose hope. Choose to stay. We'll see you in the next story. Until then, keep fighting, keep breathing, keep believing you are worth it. You are loved. You are not alone.